thanks for joining. It's Anne from The Useless Crafter. So today we are assembling Ariel and Flounder. I already posted the off the mat design space tutorial, so you can follow that and then come cut everything and then watch this to piece yours together. This project was crazy. It was just, you know, normally you go long this way and it's a slender piece like Jasmine. This one, her hair, like everything about it was so round that there were so many cut pieces. So anyway, I've already kind of just mapped it down to make sure that all the pieces are here. I was missing 2 pieces yesterday. I was tracking it down. So anyway, and I'm going to show you some improvising that I did, which is sort of the first time that I'm doing it. I did it a little bit with Belle and welding her hair so that the pieces, her hair, you know, ended up being just 3 pieces. But this one I have some tips and tricks because it was such a pain in the ass. And so I was running into so many issues. We'll talk about each one of them as we go along. So first thing I'm going to do is, you can see her hair is in all these pieces. I'm basically going to tape it because they're supposed to be flushed. So I'm going to tape everything that should be flushed together, which is basically just her hair. So, all right, let's get started. So let's do this top portion of her hair. And all I do is I make sure that, so the red glitter, so I love Cricut glitter cardstock. It doesn't shed. Like I've bought some where it's just like, oh my gosh, like everything's falling apart. My mat's getting ruined. My blade is just coming up with all the shreds of the glitter. Cricut glitter cardstock is awesome. It's sturdy and it doesn't shed, but the red one sheds. So when you're cutting it, just make sure that after every sheet on your machine that you open up, you take out your blade, and you can either, I just blow on it. I've seen a lot of Facebook groups talk about how you roll up a ball of foil and you punch it through. That works too, but it's an urban legend or a myth or whatever. It does not sharpen your blade. We spend, I don't even want to know how much I've been paying for the blades, but the blades are heavy duty. They're not going to be sharpened by the aluminum foil, but they are going to be cleaned with the aluminum foil. So just so that you know that. Okay, so all I do is I flip this over, I push it up against each other, and I'm just going to use regular tape right now. So regular, this is double-sided. This is double-sided. I didn't get regular tape. Give me a second. And one of these days, I'm going to show you. The reason why I don't have it is because it's over here. Here we go. I'll give you a tour of all my drawers and everything that's in it. It's so awesome. Okay, so it's on my daughter's side, and it's all messed up. But you know what? It's usable. Okay. So just push it up against each other and then tape it down. So now on this side, I'm going to tape it down a little bit more. The white is kind of showing through the red, but you can kind of see it's, the glitter cardstock is much nicer than if we just done red cardstock. So I'm going to push this up against each other, tape this part down, and then just tape this a little bit more. Okay, so this piece is done. I'm going to take her hair. So this is all good. So her hair right here, my goodness, it was in 4 pieces. So I'm just going to flip everything over because you've heard me say it before, I'm super bad with piecing puzzles together. So I need all the help I can get. Oh, but this is where I wanted to show you. So I cut the glitter cardstock and then I didn't clean out my blade. So the next one that I cut, oh my God, it got just shredded. Can you see it? So what I like to do is I take my Cricut knife and then I go at an angle to basically get all the white part off. And And the reason why I go at an angle is I don't want to cut my glitter side off. I just want to get it down so that you can't see my white shredded paper on the back. So I think that looks good. This was such a, I mean, the whole process so far has been a hot mess. This whole sheet, when I pulled it off, it was like maybe 25% of it came off. The rest was, it was like just perforated, which I just cringed because glitter cardstock is so expensive and I didn't want to recut it on a new sheet. So I suffered through it and took it out, and now I'm cleaning this up. But this is good because then you can see what you should do if this happens to you. Hopefully, you know, it only happens on 1 to 2 pieces and you get to know your cardstock like firm. You know, now I know when I cut red, I need to clean out my blade after every cut. Meanwhile, the other ones you can go a few cuts and not have to do anything with it. So, okay, so here is my piece. And I know you can't see down here, but ugh, that piece is so shredded, it makes me so mad. I know I had to walk away from it yesterday. I had to walk away from designing it because there was just so many pieces and I did it on an empty stomach. You can't do off the mat when you're hungry or when you're tired. It's not hard, but it's tedious and there's lots of steps and I just couldn't. I had to walk away. So this thing has taken me 3 days. Normally, from start to finish, it takes me maybe 3 hours. This has been a 2-day endeavor, so, all right. And I'm just continuing to tape this down. And one more piece. But I love all the Disney princesses. Their faces, I mean, they're just so cute. Even when you just have the cardstock of just the face, it's so pretty. Okay. And I'm trying to minimize the gap. So I'm trying to keep it flushed. And you don't want the tape to go on to past your cardstock. It will show. So if you saw me just kind of push that one back, that's what that was. Okay. So here's her hair. And you can kind of, you know, you can see where the edges are. But I have a solution. So I'm going to show you when we get to it. So that part is done. I think everything else has gaps in it. So now let's tape down the black pieces, the outline behind it. So I'm just gonna see this blue one right here. I'm gonna need to do that later before we put it down. So I try to keep everything kind of in order so I don't have to piece it together again. But I wanted to show you how I do everything because I feel like, you know, when people say, oh, well, you know how to do that. And it's like, no, I don't know how to do that. So, and this is her face. This is what I was talking about. I mean, that's just so cute. Okay. I'm gonna keep her eyes together. Her mouth. Little hair. Okay. Big hair. Sorry. Okay. And just a little bit more and we're there. I'm trying to think what else I need to tell you while we're doing this. Told you about the glitter cardstock. I do think when you're doing off the mat, it's totally worth spending that extra money, especially if you're doing this for a party. I mean, you're likely only doing, let's say 3. It's totally worth it for a party to do it. It really pops, and I'll show you some pictures on my Instagram of ones that I did where just a few pieces are in glitter cardstock as opposed to almost all of it. The only thing that I don't do glitter cardstock with is the black background because there's so much of it. I don't know. I'm still debating whether or not I want to do that. Okay. So I have all the pieces. I'm just going to flip it over so that reverse it. So that means this goes over here. This goes over here. Okay, and then we're gonna tape this together. There's my tape. So I don't do black glitter cardstock except for Jasmine, and that's because her hair was part of the outline and there was so much hair. So, okay, so here's the black background. Again, just push up the two pieces together, tape it down. You want it as flushed as possible. I mean, this layer is kind of okay to not be so perfect because we know her red hair is going over this, her face is going over it. So most likely, everything is gonna be covered. But, you know, while you're doing it the first time, you might as well try to make it as seamless as possible. Oops, is that right? Or is it like this? Yeah, there we go. I also tutor math, and I'm really good at algebra, but when there's a section when it's rotating images, translations, oh my God, I can't piece it together. It's like I just have to memorize it. It drives me insane. I wish I was a more visual person like that. Okay. All right, we're almost done. So I tape it in pairs, like across, and then once I've taped that down, then I'll tape the 4 pieces together up here and then the 4 pieces down here. And it just gives me more control it's easier to push up, you know, the 2 pieces together, and I can hold the 2 pieces together with one hand. Okay, this is part of why Ariel drove me insane. Usually it's 6 pieces of cardstock. This was 8 pieces because this little part of her hair was just a little bit too long. And then there's a tip of, man, I was gonna say Nemo, a flounder that had to be taped down and cut and taped down. That's what I meant to say. I know, I still haven't even seen this movie. I just wasn't a Disney person growing up because we just didn't have the money for all that extra stuff. So I just never got into it. Okay, so I'm watching a lot of this stuff for the first time with my daughter. Okay, now that we've taped in pairs, let's tape the 4 pieces down together. So I just, again, try to push up as much as I can and then tape down, get my initial piece down, and then start taping. And I know the foam blackboard is there, so, and I'm looking in the mirror, or in the camera, I mean, you can see it a little bit, and I apologize. I should have done the white cardboard. But, okay, almost. One last piece here. And I've been watching you guys on Facebook. I feel like a lot of you guys are doing more and more of these projects. And, you know, it's addicting. It's so cool. It's a lot of fun, and it's only hard that first time. And I wouldn't even say it's hard. You're just like, oh, that's how you do it. So, okay. I'm gonna take down one more piece over here because I see it flapping a little bit. This end piece, because it's a smaller piece too. Okay. Alright, so here's our black background all taped together. And you see how I taped it? It's not some amazing piece. It's just I'm taping it so it's all together. Alright, so let's start piecing her together, and we're going to tape her down. So this was here. And I'm going to take this again. I can see this white part, and it's driving me insane. There. Okay. So that that's down. And you can see that covers a lot of the taping that went on the black here. Okay, so her face. Her hair up here. She has a little piece right here. I'm not sure where that piece goes. Oh, right there, no. We'll do that one later when it's more clear where that one goes, because I'm so bad. And I've already pieced this together once. Okay, so here we go. Flounder. I think this goes here. Okay. There. Oh, you know what? This should be taped together. So let's flip this over. And I remember if you watched the video, I was really proud of where we sliced this because I think it's pretty seamless. So I'm going to tape this down and I'll show you again from the other side how amazing this one is. Okay, don't prove me wrong. There, you can't even tell. And then down on the cardboard, because it's not gonna move at all, it's gonna be really good. Okay, if I don't say so myself. Okay, let's put these pieces in. Now, you could be a daredevil and tape everything down now as you put them in, but I feel like I am always doing some adjusting to make sure that the black background is proportionate all throughout. So that's why I lay it down once more. Okay, this blue piece, can you see the little white that's sticking out? Again, I'm just gonna take my X-Acto knife at an angle and basically kind of make it go away. I'm shading it off, kind of. There. Okay. Okay, let's see. This is down here. And these colors are so pretty. I love, if you notice, this is the same blue as Jasmine's top. It's just so pretty. Okay, there's something going on. Oh, there. This little red section right here, I'm gonna do that again over here. And then after you do this, some pieces will shred off by themselves. And then some just stay on, and then I just kind of push it in with my hand like that, and then it goes away. And I love this blade. I've cut a lot with it, and I'm still on my first one on this knife. Okay, I think that's good. Oh, I was holding the black paper. I'm like, why is this not moving? Okay, almost done. And you can see this is gonna need some adjustment. It's not, there's just a lot of black. Hi, it's Anne, thanks for joining. All right, so this piece, I thought I was recording this whole time and it wasn't recording. So we're already here. I'm not gonna redo everything because that's the way I am. So I will just give you a highlight of what's been going on. Okay, so I taped down the black background. That's that bottom layer that's gonna give me the outline. And it was in 6 pieces. All you do is you turn it around, just like this hair. This hair is in 5 pieces. And you see where I taped it? It's just regular Scotch tape. You push up the 2 pages together and you tape down 2 pieces at a time. and you want it as flushed as possible so the seams don't show. So you see on this side, you can see the seams only when I bend it. Hopefully when it's on the black background, it's flat and you're barely gonna see it. Okay, so you have that. That's what you do with the black background. The next step in this is I piece it all together so that I can make sure that the black outline is even all the way around. So the other thing I did on this file, which normally I buy the files from Etsy, I download it. The only thing that I do to manipulate the file is to actually make it longer or bigger. But this time I'm gonna show you. Her lips were so thin. This is her upper lip, and I just basically I duplicated the piece, made it a little bit bigger, and then welded it together. It was just like, yeah, I wasn't down with that. It was too thin. I almost didn't even take it out of my cardstock because I didn't think it was a piece. So you can see it here. What I'll do is I'll take a before and after picture. So like before she plumped up her lips and and afterwards. Okay, so all the pieces are down except for the eyes. I'm not gonna put the eyes in because it's so many pieces, and we don't need that to figure out whether or not this is all proportionate, the black outline. So I feel like that's good. Flounder needs work. So yeah, if you've seen my other pieces, I never tape it down as I'm going along because I feel like there's definitely adjustments to be made. So yeah. The other thing, this nightmare project, oh my gosh. I didn't take out the red Cricut glitter cardstock sheds more than any of the other Cricut colors. And I forgot. I've done it before, I knew it, but I forgot. So I didn't take out my blade and blow on it to get rid of all the shreds. So one of the pages that I cut, oh my God, it just was like 20% of it was cut through. The rest was it was perforated. So what you do is, and I didn't want to waste it because I'm just cheap with my glitter cardstock like that. You take your Cricut knife and you pick up whatever edge it is, and at an angle, you kind of scrape off the white part. So if you see what I'm doing, that's all you do and you get rid of it. It drives me insane. You don't want it to show because it's just not pretty. So I had to do that with quite a few pieces. I definitely had to do it with one of my blue pieces too. Here, I'll show you. This one I think is still on. I'll pick a bigger piece. Okay, so if this was shredded, just go like this and you can hear it. The other thing that you can do is after each cut, if you're really good about it, you can take out your blade. You can either blow on it like I do, like I literally push it up and blow on it, or you can take a rolled up ball of foil and punch through it just to clean it out. I've heard so many people who think it's being sharpened. No way. These are crazy sharp knives, good quality. It's not being sharpened by a piece of foil. It is cleaning your blade. Please stop spreading that fake news. All right. The other thing that I did, oh, here, I see another piece of white over here. So I'm just gonna lift this up and just take it down. All right. I was gonna tell you something else when I got distracted by that. The other thing that I did with this file, which normally, like I said, I keep everything in place. The only thing I do is I make the file bigger, like I stretch out the image. But her hair, so normally when you stretch it out 30 inches, it's a slender image, so it's more of a rectangle. This one came out like a big circle, so like that's why her hair is in 5 pieces. So I went and looked at other Ariel images and saw these little pretty flowers. So I used the green glitter cardstock And I'm just gonna have a few, not so many, but I'm gonna place it down and try to cover up the seams if I need to. So that's always another option. All right, so let's do this. I think the hair, I'm gonna do this. And let's start taping her down little by little. All right, I'm gonna tape down her face because I feel like her face is nicely outlined. I do use double-sided tape for this, and the only time I use glue is if I do glitter on glitter. Like for instance, if I were to do these flowers on top of this red glitter, I will use my hot glue gun because I think it will fall off eventually. All right, so, and I don't like using glue on just regular cardstock too, because especially like on the face, like the light tones, it will, you can see it on the top side that there was glue on the bottom, so it really stinks. All right, and you want to put glue down, or I'm sorry, you want to tape all these little pieces because you don't want it flapping at all. And you also don't want the tape to run outside of your cardstock. It will show, especially against the black outline. So just, you know, make sure that you either fold it or, you know, cut a smaller piece. I've learned that the hard way. Right? Like everything we do with the Cricut, I feel like it has a steep learning curve. It's amazing and it's so worth it, but you make a lot of mistakes while you're learning it. Okay, face is down. Let's do this hair over here. Can you see that white shred? So disappointed. This project has been so bad for me. I don't know why it took me so long. It was just, sometimes it just doesn't go the way you want it to. And even this, this is my third time recording it. And I'm not redoing anything, but yeah, that's just the way it goes. And what I'll do is I'll tape down the majority of this, but the thin, sharp corners of her hair, I will go back later and I'll try to like manipulate the little bit of like the glue dots or the tape runner, and I'll get that down. I won't do it now because it's too time consuming. Okay, so tape down everything, and then I'm gonna get back to you when I'm ready to cut the foam board. All right, thanks guys.